Every phone, laptop, and car on Earth now depends on one thing: a tiny piece of silicon smaller than your fingernail. Chips. They're the brains of the modern world. They decide how fast your apps run, how smart your AI assistant sounds, and how safely your car drives. But in 2025, they're no longer just a technological story. They've become a geopolitical one, because the future of chips, and who controls them, is now at the center of a quiet global power struggle between the United States, China, and the rest of the world. And the outcome of that struggle will determine not just the devices you use, but the balance of power for the next century. It all began with a crisis. In 2020, the world's supply chain for semiconductors collapsed. Factories shut down, production stalled, and the world realized just how dependent it was on one place: Taiwan. Taiwan's TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, makes around 90% of the world's most advanced chips, the ones used in iPhones, AI data centers, and fighter jets. That dependence terrified US policymakers, because if anything disrupted Taiwan, a natural disaster, a conflict, a blockade, the entire global tech economy could freeze overnight. That realization sparked what's now known as the chip war. The US responded fast. It launched the CHIPS and Science Act, a sweeping effort to bring semiconductor manufacturing back home. Tens of billions of dollars in subsidies were handed out to companies like Intel, TSMC, Samsung, and Micron to build new plants on US soil. The goal wasn't just economic, it was strategic. Whoever controls the chips controls the innovation, from AI to defense to communications. And Washington doesn't want that control slipping away. Now, billions are flowing into new chip fabs across Arizona, Texas, and New York. Intel is building mega factories. TSMC is opening US plants for the first time. Even NVIDIA and AMD, which design chips but don't manufacture them, are investing in domestic partnerships to secure supply chains. The message is clear: the future of computing must be made in America. But the US isn't alone in this race. China is spending hundreds of billions to catch up, building its own fabs, training new engineers, and stockpiling chip-making materials. It's also working around export bans imposed by the US that limit access to the world's most advanced AI processors. This has triggered an escalating cycle of technological protectionism, a global tug-of-war over who gets to build the world's next generation of intelligence. And that tug-of-war is now shaping every gadget you own. Let's break it down. When you buy a phone or laptop today, it's not just a consumer product, it's the end result of an international balancing act. Apple's chips are designed in California, but manufactured in Taiwan. NVIDIA's GPUs are built with Dutch lithography machines and South Korean materials. Microsoft's AI servers depend on chips from multiple countries assembled across Asia and shipped through US data centers. That means your gadgets are global by design, and geopolitics can disrupt them at any point. A single export restriction, like the one the US placed on AI chips to China, can send shockwaves through the entire tech ecosystem. Prices spike, delays hit, and companies scramble to redesign products to stay compliant. Every policy decision now ripples down into your pocket, literally. And this goes deeper than trade. It's also about national security. Modern weapons, satellites, and communication systems depend on advanced semiconductors. So control over chip manufacturing has become a matter of defense. That's why US officials now talk about chips the way past generations talked about oil, as a resource too important to depend on foreign powers for. It's also why the US government has been tightening restrictions not just on chip exports, but on the tools used to make them. The Netherlands and Japan have joined those efforts, banning the sale of high-end chip-making equipment to China. In response, China has retaliated by limiting exports of critical minerals used in chip production, like gallium and germanium. It's a digital Cold War, fought not with missiles, but with microchips. But here's the twist. Amid all this competition, the tech industry is getting caught in the middle. Companies like NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and Apple depend on both markets, the US and China, to thrive. If tensions rise too high, they face losing billions in sales. So they're walking a delicate line, staying loyal to Washington's policies while quietly maintaining business ties overseas. Behind closed doors, some executives admit that the chip war could slow global innovation. If the industry splits into two ecosystems, one led by the US and another by China, it could fragment the tech world for decades. And that fragmentation could change how technology evolves. Imagine two different digital worlds. One built on US-backed standards, data systems, and AI platforms, and another built on Chinese infrastructure. Two internet ecosystems, two chip designs, two incompatible versions of technology. We're already seeing hints of it. China is developing its own AI frameworks, operating systems, and chip architectures. The US is strengthening alliances with Japan, South Korea, and Europe to build a democratic tech network. The question is, can the world afford a divided digital future? Meanwhile, this chip rivalry is transforming the US economy in surprising ways. New manufacturing hubs are emerging across America. Phoenix, Austin, and Syracuse are becoming semiconductor capitals. Entire supply chains are being rebuilt domestically, from materials to machinery. It's a new kind of industrial revival, one driven by geopolitics instead of pure market forces. And yet, it's also creating new risks. These mega projects cost billions and take years to complete. Delays, labor shortages, and cost overruns could slow progress. And if global demand falters or policies shift, the US could find itself with excess capacity and limited buyers. In other words, winning the chip war might be easier said than done. Still, one thing is undeniable. The chip industry has become the foundation of modern civilization. Chips power everything: communication, energy, healthcare, defense, entertainment, and whoever controls that foundation holds leverage over every other sector of the global economy. That's why the stakes are so high. This isn't just about gadgets or graphics cards. It's about who gets to shape the world's future intelligence. So, next time you hold your phone or power on your laptop, remember this. Inside that sleek metal case lies a piece of the most contested technology on Earth. A chip that connects you, not just to the internet, but to a global web of politics, strategy, and competition. Because in today's world, technology isn't just built in factories anymore. It's built in policy meetings, trade negotiations, and international alliances. And the fight to control your gadget's brain has only just begun.